Hello everybody, it is Indy Meets Disney and we are continuing our series.
Yep, so our series is called Distinctly Indy. We are Hoosiers. We are from the Hoosier state of Indiana. Ooh. And we love our home state, hence our name, Indy Meets Disney. So we are going to be taking you along to different places around India to find some of the best food. So what food are we searching for today?
Today we are looking for the official state pie of Indiana. You're like, maybe you live in Indiana, you didn't know there was a state pie. There is a state pie and it is a great pie, that is for sure. So we are looking for the sweetest, creamiest sugar cream pie, the official state pie of Indiana. It is good if you've never had sugar cream pie.
It is good, and it makes me ask the question now, do other states have official pies? I don't know. We'll have to look into that. But sugar cream pie, just to let you know some of the history of it, it has originated because it's our Indiana state pie. It basically kind of got its history and its start here in Indiana. So basically what I've read is that some people from North Carolina, some Quakers, came to Indiana. They settled in the eastern part of it back in the mid-1800s, and they brought that pie with them. Okay. So it really has its start kind of in the eastern part of Indiana. Not only is it just called a sugar cream pie, sometimes it's called the Hoosier pie, because we're Hoosiers here in Indiana, and sometimes it's also called the finger pie, which I thought was kind of strange. But basically so it's a single crusted pie, and then that's kind of cream and maple or brown sugar, and just kind of those very simple ingredients. So people would take their finger to stir it, and that way they wouldn't break the shell of it, of that pie crust. So that's why it's sometimes called a finger pie.
Okay.
So when you're looking for a sugar cream pie, what are some things that are going to stand out for you so you will know that it is the best sugar cream pie in Indiana?
First off, I'm looking for a good custardy consistency.
Yes.
So not too firm, not too soft. And then I'm looking for that sweet flavor of a sugar cream pie. Obviously, it's a sugar cream pie, so it should have a nice sweetness to it, is what I'm looking for.
Yes.
And that it should have, like you said, that nutmeg, I believe you said.
Usually there's nutmeg served on the top of it.
So I'm looking for that being on top of it.
Yep.
And hoping the places we go today haven't stirred it with their finger. So that would be a nice touch as well.
True, very true. No stirring with fingers. And then I was thinking too, you kind of mentioned like the consistency, the texture of it. So I feel like it should have some jiggle to it. So maybe we'll jiggle our plates a little bit.
Okay.
But I think it should be firm at the same time. So can I think of like that Jello jiggler? So I should be able to serve it with a pie server, and it's not just gonna ooze all over my plate. Okay. So it should be jiggly but firm. So that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah. So super excited about this one. Love some sugar cream pie. So let's go do this. We are on the road headed to our first sugar cream pie destination. We're headed to Meyer Farm Bakery.
Yep, so it's located in Columbus, Indiana, and we are looking forward to trying some of their sugar cream pie. They're known to have some really great pies and things in their bakery.
Yeah, they were listed on one of the Hoosier Pie trails, so excited to see what they have to offer and see if they meet some of our criteria that we're looking for in sugar cream pie. All right, we've made it to Meyer Farms Bakery. Super excited to go in and try out their sugar cream pie or Hoosier pie. So let's go in and try it out. So here's a shot of the outside of the building. Very unique, fun outside, kind of pink colored building with little rainbow accents. So here we go.
Okay, so we have stopped at Meyer Farms Bakery. We're calling it Meyer, and I need to correct myself. It's Meyer. And this is our sugar cream pie. So it's a nice big slice of pie. Cost $5. Or we could have gotten the whole pie for $15. And I'm thinking that I might have shaken the bag a little bit too much because I've dragged a little bit of the pie around. But I'm going to do a jiggle test here. Okay. Jiggle, jiggle. It's got the jiggle on it, and it's still pretty firm, but it looks like it has lost a little bit. And like I said, I think that's from me jostling the background. It smells delicious. The crust looks delicious, and we're going to try this.
We are on our way to our next piece of sugar cream pie. But before we do that, we want to talk about that sugar cream pie from Meyer's. Not Meyer's, but Meyer's. So what'd you think?
Yeah, so the flavor of it was really good. I thought it was really sweet. I really liked the crust. It was flaky. And I was expecting nutmeg to be on the top, but it was actually cinnamon. So the flavors were really good. The only thing that I was a little bit disappointed in is that it was pretty soupy. And not like soup, but like Jello soup. So it kind of fell into the bowl a little bit more than I expected it to. So, but overall, it was really great. What did you think, honey?
Yeah, I agree. I thought it was a little soupy, not as custardy as I was hoping it would be, so not as firm. The strongest flavors that came through for me was the cinnamon that was on top, and then I got some vanilla there as well. Also, I didn't think it was as sweet either as I thought it was going to be for a sugar cream pie. It was still sweet. But all that said, though, I still thought it was a really good pie. I would definitely go back and get that pie again. I thought for the size of our slice for $5, and then a whole pie was 15. It does make sense to go ahead and get a full pie at 15 rather than just a slice. If you want to get a whole pie, it does make sense to get the whole pie. But it definitely was a good pie, and it was definitely worth trying. And if you're in Columbus and you get a chance, I think it's worth the stop to go there and get it.
Yeah, and also it's a really great family-owned restaurant, family-owned bakery. It's been in the Columbus area for over 30 years, and then it's been in that location for over 10 years. So it's always nice to support those local family businesses.
Yeah, definitely. So on to our next location. We're going to be stopping at Wicks Pies up in Winchester, Indiana. So we're going to head there next.
We're here in Winchester, Indiana to visit Mrs. Wicks Pies to give a try out to the famous statewide pie, the sugar cream pie. So we're excited to give it a try today. But to let you know some of the history behind Mrs. Wicks Pies, it is like a statewide thing that you'll see all over. You can even find Mrs. Wicks Pies inside of Walmarts and Kroger's in their freezer departments. There's a big history that goes along with it that I did some research, and it's kind of interesting. So basically, Mr. Wick back in like the 40s was visiting Winchester and was delivering to some of the factories and things here. And when he was delivering, well, I don't know what he was delivering, but when he was delivering, he was seeing that people were coming back from their lunch breaks drunk because they were going to the local saloons during their lunch break, and they were getting some liquor during that time. So he recommended to the factories here, hey, why don't you go ahead and build like a diner here inside of the factory so people can eat at the diner instead of going to the saloon. And so not long afterwards, people said, well, why don't you start that idea, Mr. Wickersham, which they call him Wick. So he's like, oh, okay, I could do that. And so he started becoming famous for selling his pies, which I believe were either his mother's recipe or his grandmother's recipe. And they become famous. He started selling them out of his cars, and he sold lots and lots of pies, and it's to the point they have a factory across the street now that goes with the pie shop, and they make 30,000 pie crusts a day and 10,000 pies a day, which is pretty incredible. So come along with us inside, we'll see how their pies are.
Just want to get a quick look at the video or the factory here too. This is where they produce the Mrs. Wicks pies. So this is directly right behind the restaurant here. So this is the actual factory where you have your pies made. Okay, so we've made it into Wicks Pies. Just looking at the menu here, they have all different kinds of sandwiches. It's here on the menu. And then several different appetizers, salads, and drinks. And then lots of different dinners, sides, soups, some kids menus as well. But of course, what we're here for is the pie. And they have all different kinds of fruit pies available, sugar-free pies, and then those cream pies. And they're all really good prices. So we're ready to dig in and try these out.
So here you can see the prices of a whole pie and some of the different varieties they have available. So there's lots of history around this place. As far as where Wicks Pies come from. This would actually be a picture of Mrs. Wick herself, who is featured on every single box of pies that you can buy. They also have several cases here of pies that you can buy. And one thing I thought was interesting is over here inside of this case, they have seconds. So these are cheaper pies. These are ones that they probably consider not to be like perfect by their standards and wouldn't want to sell them for full price. It's kind of like an outlet of pies that they wouldn't sell for normal price. Okay, we've got our Mrs. Wicks Sugar Cream Pie. It costs $2.85 on their menu, and I'm going to give it the jiggle dust. So, I would say there's a slight jiggle to it. It definitely is keeping its shape, which is good and important. Looks like a slice of pie and not a pile of soup. And one thing we've noticed, there's not like any nutmeg or cinnamon or anything sprinkled on the top of it. So we are looking forward to trying this, and we will let you know pretty soon how it is. And since we're at a place that serves lots of pie, we did veer off our sugar cream pie and got another piece of pie too. We ended up getting the pumpkin chess pie. So it's pretty much pumpkin pie, but instead of made with flour, it's made with cornmeal, and then it has a lot more spices in it, so it almost has like a gingerbread taste to it, is the way they described it. And we decided to get both of our pies warmed up. Okay, so we just finished up at Mrs. Wicks Pies. Did you have any thoughts on your sugar cream pie there?
Well, I'd have to say I was a little disappointed. I was expecting to go in there and kind of get creme de la crop, if you would say, the best of the crop.
Okay.
Because, you know, you think Mrs. Wicks, you think queen of the cream pies.
Right.
Because she's in all of the grocery stores and she's kind of all over the place with her cream pies.
Mm-hmm.
But this didn't match up for me. I think it's because she's become so mass-produced and all over the place that it's kind of lost the pizzazz. It just doesn't have that homemade touch to it. I think it was missing the cinnamon or the nutmeg on top, which was a disappointment. I was missing that extra flavor. The crust was just kind of plain to me. It wasn't anything special. I think it's because of that mass production. It just didn't have anything special to it, which I was really disappointed at. I was really looking forward to something special there at Mrs. Wicks, and just didn't cut it for me.
Yeah, I agree with Cedric. I was unfortunately a little bit disappointed. I was hoping for it to become something pretty special. We have had Mrs. Wicks pies like out of the freezer section before, and that's literally what it tasted like. Like they just had one of their pies that they'd made and they heated it up and bada bing, bada boom. The crust for me was not very good. The crust that we had at the place in Columbus, that was really, really great crust. And it wasn't like super sweet or anything amazingly sugar cream. So it's a really good pie. It is a good pie. But it was not just like the most superb sugar cream pie that I think you can find in Indiana.
Nothing special about it.
The pumpkin chess pie, I know we showed that too. So we ended up trying another pie while we were there. It was actually pretty good. It had lots of flavor, lots of pumpkin, lots of spices. So I think
it's a very unique pie. Something I've never had before. Something that you can't just go to the supermarket and buy.
Right.
I think that's what made it better. Made it good.
Yeah, and we did come later on in the day, so they only had a couple of pies available for us, so that was kind of disappointing because I was really having my eye set on maybe trying another pie. I've had their peanut butter pie before, and I remember it was like overflowing with whipped cream and peanut butter and amazingness, so just a little bit disappointed in their sugar cream pie. But like I said, if you were just to like want to buy one at the store and you see one at Walmart, like they are good, but nothing homemade and amazing about it. So we are going to head off to another sugar cream pie here in just a bit.
All right, we are off to get our third piece of sugar cream pie, and we are headed to the original home of the Tenderloin. You say, what? Yes, they are said to have a great piece of sugar cream pie there as well, and it's a unique piece of sugar cream pie, and we are super excited to try that.
Yes, so we actually found out that Nick's Kitchen in Huntington, Indiana is known for their sugar cream pie because they were featured on a PBS special about their amazing pies all across the nation, and Nick's Kitchen was featured on it. And speaking of that amazing tenderloin, if you have not checked out that Distinctly Indy series that we did with the tenderloin around Indiana, we're going to link that here, so make sure you click on that video as well. We're excited to try their sugar cream pie.
We have arrived in Huntington, Indiana, here at Nick's Kitchen. We are ready to go in and try out that sugar cream pie.
Yep, we've heard it's really unique, so we can't wait to try it.
All right, let's go do this.
So here in Huntington at Nick's Kitchen, they are known for their famous homemade pies. You can buy them by the slice for $3.49 for most of them. But I thought this was kind of interesting. They have a pie flight. It's kind of like being back at Disney World, all the flights they have there. And that's $6.99 for 3 half slices of your choice. And if you are wanting and loving their sugar cream pie, you can actually get one frozen for $16 and take home a full sugar cream pie for yourself. Hey, we asked about what their most popular flavors of pie are, and they definitely mentioned the sugar cream is their most popular one. But you can see they have tons of other homemade pies that they offer, and they kind of rotate in and out on a daily basis. So take a look at this sugar cream pie. This is like none that we've ever seen before so far in our little jaunt around Indiana trying to find the perfect slice of Hoosier Sugar Cream Pie. So it's got that layer of crust on the bottom. It's definitely a homemade crust, you can tell. We heard that the owner himself makes the pies every single day. It's got that layer of sugar cream in the center, and then that top has a crusty, crispy cinnamon and sugar layer. So that makes it super unique, and we cannot wait to try this. Okay, first of all, I wish this had smell-o-vision because it smells delicious with the sugar and cinnamon sugar on the top of it, but I'm going to do the jiggle test because I've done that with a couple of other pies so far. So there's no jiggle with this pie. I like to have a little bit of jiggle, but it's nice and firm as opposed to that one soupy pie that we had in Columbus. So here we go, stay tuned. So we just finished up at Nick's Kitchen trying that sugar cream pie. What do you think?
So that pie was amazing. That topping totally made the pie. The extra sugar cream part was okay, but the topping was definitely the star. I could definitely eat a whole pie of that. It was just so good.
Yeah, and I thought it also was equally amazing. So I loved the top of it. It was so like, not super crunchy or crispy, but just sweet with the sugar, cinnamon and sugar. And it was a perfect touch on top of the sugar cream pie. I would like a little more sweetness in the actual sugar cream part of it. But you mentioned eating a whole pie?
I did.
I could eat a whole pie. Oh no! So we decided to go ahead and pay an extra $16 and take home a whole frozen pie.
We did. It was just so good. We couldn't pass up the $16 to get a whole pie. It was definitely a top for us, and it was definitely one we wanted to take home and enjoy at home. We just loved it that much. So we decided to spend the $16 and get one to take home.
Yes, yes, sir. We sure did. So
we'll be enjoying this later. That's for sure.
Absolutely. We are headed to our 4th and final stop for our sugar cream pie. Where are we headed, honey?
We're headed to My Sugar Pie in Zionsville. So super excited. I heard a lot of good things about this pie. So we'll see if all the hype holds up true. So we'll head there and see how it is.
Let's do it. Hey, we are here in Zionsville, Indiana at My Sugar Pie. We've heard amazing things about their sugar cream pie. So we are going to grab one and see how it is today.
So we're getting to take a look at that pie here in just a second. Before I do, I just want to point out a few things. So the store's hours of operation are listed here. So they're closed on Monday, and then most days they're open 10 to 4 and closed on Sunday as well. I want to show as well that they are featured in Country Living magazine, voted the top mail order pie of companies in the nation, and People magazine also named their sugar cream pie as Indiana's food gift. So I thought that was interesting. And then My Sugar Pie was also featured in Oprah, Country Living magazine, People magazine, and Food Network magazine. And then also over here, My Sugar Pie can be found by the slice at these restaurants. So Cobblestone in Zionsville, 4-Day Ray Brewing and Fishers, Grindstone Charlie Restaurants, Grindstone on the Monon in Westfield, Grindstone Public House in Noblesville, Provisions on the north side in Indianapolis, Traders Point Creamery in Zionsville, and Woodland Country Club in Carmel. So a lot of very unique facts about My Sugar Pie. So I'm sure they have some pretty awesome pie, but we're going to dig into it here in just a second. All right, so here's our first look at my sugar cream pie from My Sugar Pie. So I'm going to open this up here. As you can see, it's a pretty decent looking pie. Doesn't have that shell on top like Nick's had, but it does have the dusting of either cinnamon or nutmeg on top, so it's always a nice addition. The crust looks pretty good on there, nice and flaky, and it is pretty firm pie, so not real runny and not real jiggly like Katie was talking about. Pretty firm pie. So excited to try this out and let you know how it tastes.
Sugar pie. We tried that cream pie, sugar cream pie. What were your thoughts on that?
So that pie was amazing. That might have been the best sugar cream pie we've had on this trip. It definitely was my idea of the perfect Indiana sugar cream pie. But you definitely paid for it. That's for sure. I don't think we mentioned it, but it was $6.25 a slice. So it was a very expensive piece of pie.
It was.
But it was an amazing piece of pie. I definitely see why they have all the different accolades. But I highly recommend it if you're looking for an excellent piece of sugar cream pie. That was it.
Yeah, I agree with Cedric. The crust, so starting at the crust was flaky and the crust was really yummy. The actual like pie part of it, it was really sweet, but it wasn't overly sweet, so I appreciated that. And Cedric mentioned that it was pretty solid and not jiggly, but mine had a little jiggle to it, so I was appreciative of the little bit of jiggle instead of a sugar cream pie. And then we'd been looking for one that had nutmeg sprinkled on the top, and this one did have nutmeg sprinkled across the top. So that was the first one that we had that actually had nutmeg sprinkled across the top. So it was a delicious pie.
I think it definitely checkmarked all the boxes for the perfect Indiana piece of sugar cream pie.
Yes.
And the flavor was just there. It was right on cue.
I agree. So we'll come back and we'll talk about all of them here in just a second.
All right, that's going to conclude our Distinctly Indy search for the best sugar cream pie. So what do you think?
I think we found the best sugar cream pie in Indiana.
I think so. I think it makes the home state of Indiana super proud with the pie that we found on this trip.
Yes, we did. So our top one would definitely be from the My Sugar Pie up in Zionsville. It had the jiggle I'd been looking for. It had the sweetness level I'd been looking for. It had the yummy crust that I'd been looking for. It was phenomenal. You agree? I
agree. That was definitely a home run. A bit pricey,
yes,
but it was definitely worth it. It was so, so good. If you're looking for some good sugar cream pie, that is definitely the place to go in Zionsville.
And like we mentioned, it's also available at lots of other restaurants around the area too. So you can probably find it in other places too. Yeah. We did find some other ones that were good, but they definitely weren't our favorites. So yeah,
the Nick one was very unique at Nick's restaurant.
Nick's Kitchen.
Nick's Kitchen, yeah.
In Huntington,
right.
yeah.
It was very unique. Had that little crust on top. That was definitely probably my second.
Yes.
Because I really enjoyed that crust and we ended up getting a whole pie. So that was definitely a winner for us as well. And the other two were okay, but that was probably where they stacked up for me.
Yeah, and I agree. Yeah, I was really hoping that we would enjoy the Wicks Pie a little bit more, given that they're like the place to go for your sugar cream pie. But it was just one of those like mass-produced things, you know? You got to get it made with love and personality, and I feel like the other ones definitely had that. So yeah, let's go and wrap things up today.
All right. Sounds good.
So thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any recommendations of places that we need to go to try some more sugar cream pies, will you please let us know, because we would love to hear that in the comments. If you've not already, like this video, become a subscriber to our YouTube family, and until next time, we will see you real soon.
Bye, guys.
Bye.